Adom Marakwa Yasanso and we shape you. Of course, we are here. And that's just a latest sports stories for her. And when see them anyway, Shesha, you have a bonkomo. Baby, catch the winning now. Also subscribe if you want to say. Let's get going because a lot of things that any who are discussing. This is your usual back to back to back to back latest. And of course, I am here with Biggie. Open you guys here, maybe I find here. Fantastic. The tennis said, Menoka says see a Chelsea 4-year training at USA. And said Chelsea Bobo one for Palmeiras game, you know. Into Chelsea training, the big Oreswa. Joao Pedro, new signing. Straight Obaya, Papa. Yenimre. On say the reason why Chelsea for fun, no, was because Chelsea feels so much here and him work a crazy Joao Obaya. And then young Valley, Nivea, Onokrano, and the Chelsea training me who Romeo Lavia. My share pictures in the who Romeo Lavia. Romeo Lavia, you boba couldn't go to you. Aqua way cry, Eddie has some cranny. But Joao Pedro say, all about Chelsea, no, on Andrew Santos, Eddie Como. Say, Master, baby, I may ban a year. Or Andrew Santos convince no, and what this side is of Andrew Santos, where will you boni bimo? But Tawa Joao Pedro, or more no veiling, no, for a picture, baby, Joao Pedro could you Big work here, I had a yasa Mukumama now.
I had a America.
Okay.
I had the America.
Sir, Lake Bosom Chew.
With the America.
And see, you see, because of this situation, I was saying Chelsea, Koye pictures, official pictures, you know, beachside, you understand?
Sure.
Now, what kind of Raheem Sterling so? Honestly, US is an Omokoye is way.
Yeah.
Honestly, so who differences and roll pictures in the community here? Maybe someone for air trendy pictures we say, hey, and the atu.
Supporters, you know, make us a supporters and more against Chelsea.
Well, against
yes, because many sure say Chelsea supporter be a Ebeka Sassam no more against Chelsea no, and now almost few say maybe Raheem Sterling could deny our unveiling and the match Chelsea Bobo no, and a Joao Pedro so I could deny at the eye and not just said the Sterling performance for Chelsea in the year, you know, Sana Joao Pedro.
They say
the Debbie. It is football. They be a case buying every player is a gamble. And see, ubetimi out to play or form pa, but Obebano, na neman conkai famano. Tibetimi as Sisa Joao Pedro Bana or Bananeman conkai. But before I started any Bissino, I think these are two different players. At time on Moba Chelsea, no, or a Joao Pedro. A Fena Branty any Peja, or Bobo na and Yeme Fademano, and a Chelsea Quaco fan of Denaba. If you are talking about Raheem Sterling, the end was all your football mono. A greater part of it to Liverpool. I was Manchester City. And Sana all three on them about joining Chelsea Bobo Kono. It is the whole Raheem Sterling now. Coming to Chelsea, not the performance, no air conform. Yes, now shall see it because if Raheem Sterling is a player, and not Pep Guardiola being here power Manchester City set up Limois, there was no way he was going to allow him come to Chelsea. Now coach you see player and every and now the ocean you know the free player anymore and I feel with Branty no Emma Branty and so yeah then EBP more Chelsea.
Now Biggie say Chelsea Okoma Swaya sporting directors and Penifona tax almost say as soon as possible omonye clear out. There are lots of players there with Chelsea. Joao Felix for instance or Istanbul CC Amenoka say now for few say Ebia will be called Galatasaray and answer way, but still no one Gala form for offer Bianco if an about in far off and call is to say my taxi Paul West Stanley any Loresti was to say he should make sure say those unknown players now virtually unimportant players. I'm sorry I'm using those words there. They need to go and now players need to so Chelsea fee say Yenka say Yeton Nicholas Jackson Noni Madueke Malo goes to Sebe de ba na a Chelsea pa they will let go.
Yes, all top players, no, I was all maybe call because unya a sizable number of players and as a squad, a boa coach in Ankasa when it comes to player selection. And definitely there are players that also move features to squad name no more. You made mention of Joao Felix. I think the Joao Felix problem pass is here. Because he has a good agent, he always wants to play for a big club. And not any problem. But baby Joao Felix says he needs to get a middle class team. Any respect because he's played for bigger clubs. Some level of respect. They are normally decide say time will be an emphasis the game. Football is a talent exhibition. The more you play, you become better. And because practice makes a man perfect. And today be a Joao Felix bono, not get back to the best of form. But the one is not because you feel say who a good agent into a big club need to be normal. But every big club there is pressure. And the pressure, what team nintino. Obabaku mienuna amfa. Yama want to also mobium. You better relegate you to the bench. And no any branch any problem. Oko AC Milan at the start it was good. But about 1, 2, 3 now Mfano because of the pressure in AC Milan, because it is a big club and almost signed in the Kokotana bench. But anke a middle class team be, ebia Udinese be, ebia team be a from bia. Anka de bi omo be mo abo.
But it's no anka sad ohun who so a star.
That is what I'm saying. It's a problem. They say he feels he's a big boy,
yeah.
And then he has a good agent.
Yeah.
And to me, team kasi ang kwa dia menya binti time be say me bo team kasi. But team kasi be an pressure wom. It wom nya time maun fan get back to the best of form.
Should he go back to Benfica?
Asaman come back say ebia team kasi be one be Benfica. Because that was where he started. They have that kind of respect for him as a former player. And this is how the great team, due to the performance, Atletico Madrid, the Babe fan, it's all Kobe, where you started from. They have some sort of respect to me at the mouth. They are always going to make sure, say, ball. And we shouldn't forget, say, any chrome team. Or Portugal. If you become a better player, if you get back to the best of form, you are becoming better for the Portuguese national team. That alone gives you an advantage. In the
okay.
Because clubs now pressure what on there. Obian who benya time amount say they be have born mistakes. No cause wabo. Ki de be kwa from the youth team.
I'm for a scared coming for him anyway. The story is in a far just like normally we do. Manchester United, Oli Watkins has been offered to Manchester United. Aston Villa say a year 60 million pounds. 60 million pounds. Manchester United a catch re nkofona omo ede bo ani din betchre omo ne say 60 die. Faso bi omo ntimi ntia.
Kohu Manchester United as a club should be serious.
Yeah, some more.
Yes. You are competing with other clubs. And the clubs now no more competing. So omo ya ade chain wa na say CV na etwa mu no omo ya ade chain wa. I was say build the team no based on the kind of quality omo no wo to become better than them. Liverpool now or G League no. She signings are Liverpool here. Baby to see no. Liverpool top player. Say top player. Oba be make an impact. A bit me about say player and be emfa. But compare say sabe see there. Every player Liverpool is buying, a player, most of them all be making an instant impact. Apart from Abia Magay and I'll say Oba be backup. But Omo Mabani na be command the spot. Aba be improve the Liverpool team. Say Liverpool on peso boslai. I want a number 10 position. Okofa Florian Wirtz. Look at the difference between the two players in terms of numbers. For the past 2 seasons, how many in their respective clubs, it's improve departments in India. See, our strikers are Liverpool, or pay Isaac, or pay Osimhen, or pay almost top level, normal proving. These are the strikers are almost pay. Manchester United. Now, Modimona Kwang Kaina, you check table number 4. I see a part and now double. Oh, you know, Oli Watkins, Menkas or a bad player. But Manchester United needs players from here proving at this moment.
This is say proving, you know. A players are. I'm sure the word proving you are looking at Champions League standards.
Of course.
Say those players, how are you going to convince them to play for Manchester United? Maybe the only way might be money to entice them. Anyway, let me also add this to the conversation. I'm not sure about it also. Jadon Sancho and Juventus will maybe meeting this year. Juventus for me almost say they are describing the meeting as positive.
Okay.
According to Juventus, this year when we meeting,
Kwakunti said in America, Manchester United as a club. So for Oli Watkins, last season goals are the Maya as a number 9 in Premier League. It was around 16 goals in the Premier League. Into double figures. So all heard the strikers at Manchester United was this year. And now for Oli Watkins there, you are bringing an upgrade. But we shouldn't forget the Manchester United team is one. Time and Manchester United, Manchester United no. They just didn't buy upgrades of a players they have. Say me player say 8 into me kofa dey watch 9 and after 10 the number there be Manchester United bought right players and good especially in those positions number 9 Manchester United is can no across na no akofa Robin van Persie no the number be Manchester United that is the club I nim that is what the supporters know and anything and the supporters need to know and this over to Oli Watkins for 60 million Abra Victor Osimhen here around or you available or you proven at the top level. Victor Osimhen from Napoli, Ekobo Galatasaray impo. Even in the Europa League, he was among players who much goals kesiye.
Big say Victor Osimhen level are wrong. Say we can say Ombra Manchester United. Apart from he not playing the Champions League, one of those things you go use to entice him,
of course. That is why I made mention.
Because the wages
in 60
with SAR system, no, Ebia Napoli for some 75 million euros. With just 75 million euros, a man, we no say or 12 million euros a year. Because Sombra Man U, non forfeited Champions League, non Man U, dear. Then you are going to about 20 million euros. So now, no, how are you going to manage this vis-a-vis the conversation about financial fair play? Because one thing we also need to know, Manchester United do not know how to sell. If you understand Ramos Hoylondi, I was so called Inter Milan, the deal, say, Astole. Say, United are not on set, so ultimate Tonwa. And now our ratio we say, meeting me my play be higher wages. Now me the association. But United are unable to sell. You are not playing the Champions League, you are not getting money. So how are you going to do it?
Maybe a Manchester United Ginano. I am the sell can see can want them. That is the only idea. A bema the naya konodiama players are on major Champions League or no Manchester United. Because there is no guarantee. Say Bana Oba Manchester United no Obeji Premier League. There is no guarantee say Oba Beji FA Cup. There is no guarantee say Manchester United will qualify for Champions League even in the coming season. And it's a Jessica and all the entice player there. Then Manchester United is still going to go for average players. Ababa Manchester United Bobo Kunim. It's over all right. But the baby you are going to buy, but you didn't buy right. It's in a club number to a standstill. And we shouldn't forget it is a project you are building. It's a nam and a yinam. I was already be bishop drana no now the tunes with him. Now attractive fish no babedi nansana drana channel. It is the Manchester United in here ready. So be you see money as a bait to attract players. Then the Manchester United club it is good. It is no, but
the financial fair play is facing them.
Yes. It's the players You've already said that Manchester United doesn't know how to sell.
Yeah, of course.
Of which is a fact.
Yeah.
And the ABA player team Bipe. ABA Ganacho say Manchester United they quote 50. 50 million euros now who quote ABA will Bipe. But with 15 in air scan away. What you say? And the other thing na lower price tag because who here ska. Into lower price tag no neje and they be a make say omo Ghana ha say omo to ade a omo ma price a enye kra omo to talk condemn no ade na the price enye opa akoto fridge ne ka che condemn ru asa wo ton fridge no be ka che say me ma 30 cedis o wi o say fridge me mfa nya wi o moto bi na me tu akire the price enye because onim say ade na o de ma no ompe omfa nya wi Manchester United na man aye clear say a lot of the players omo be kono United mpe
enu de e ha na ha adwen uja
yes
coffee nevate no scraps for no quack of a car no say scrap
obema price enye
2000
obema price enye so enti woman na hu say ade no ompe enti e board ma open no de be ma na ade a ompe de e dey na o yere to me
see Lukaku everyone knew say he was not liked by Chelsea. Chelsea found a way to get 25 million, if I'm right.
Of course.
And see what is going on? Because I'm a club or chief negotiator.
Oh, a title, a portfolio,
Hey, say Ruben and
what is he negotiating for Manchester United?
When him say, and then who say, and then exactly 1 month, Brian Mbeumo, a declare say, Uncle Tots and Bebo Man you.
Sure. Club none watching.
Hey,
not season any crown. For me, I feel the Premier League now, boy, you know. The worst club in the Premier League is Manchester United.
And yes, space.
They be even on call relegation. No, I see them to be better teams than Manchester United. Looking at the pedigree and standard of Manchester United, any position no could you know. It's wo now more than money. And your man can't come from now. You have somebody with a title, a chief negotiator. But as we speak, on teaming to players, me and some from now. And the people have seen say Manchester United is in dire need.
Of course.
It's a player beyond one, no more
so you're desperate already.
And idea, your team beyond the team, your boss is in you now team in yet.
We are desperate as a
yes.
Mami Mamu, Oshinibi, Gazeta, a report to say, Dalsall Dumfries, the contract mono, a shemuse from 1st of July to the 15th of July. Wait me trigger the clause 30 million euros pay, according to Gazeta.
As we
listen,
speak,
a
right
wing.
But then again, you ask yourself, say, is the player also ready to leave Inter Milan Boboko? You know, at least say between Inter and Manchester United. Season ya baba be remu. Yemo season when we do betimi age league it is Inter Milan.
Of course.
Do betimi age domestic trophy aside league. Coppa Italia, FA Cup, then the Inter Milan. They are possible so betimi assign qualify for Champions League Inter Milan. It's Manchester United is not in that position. That is why I say United into me Sika and find certain signings because maybe a Sika ni betimi the attractive players. That is the problem for Manchester United now. It will players now penal. Tete bonus so no more pen for camera mefa because the fact that player now fit into the scheme of work our Manchester United doesn't make that player a bad player on your team be mobile. So they have to find a way. No Manchester players let price tag and so. Find a bit me say who could be the one or Yirim or the boo. But because of a condition and new situation at home.
Prior price tag no. Chelsea for us answer catch the West Ham say. Omo pe Kudus still no ma. Name on say Chelsea na kwa on home face. And the West Ham say omo pe cash. Chelsea can say ye the place be my money the kakre bi ato so. But Chelsea want to move place. Chelsea sounds we shall catch West Ham for CC say. West Ham for reconsider. Na still na no they want the deal done. Name a player on more player. So say Chelsea be some come this Bri Hall mun nyina akọ. What I say? See no so across to CC Chelsea for no.
To feel say no matter the bad season they had, one of our more priceless assets, Mohamed Kudus. In so no na kokobe there. Looking at Sika Chelsea with the fast certain players, and the Chelsea Bobo Kunim. Sika the fast Joao Pedro. Season now and Joao Pedro had good numbers than Mohamed Kudus. No credit. But Obin to be convinced me say Kudus is a bad player or Joao Pedro is a better player than Mohamed Kudus. Debbie. Numbers no nya the channel. And still, West Ham feels say if it's that good, and I was say Sika would be can on our far branch and then call. Because ya been say a pro player. Say a pro player, and you ever cast any of our summer senior
I think what Chelsea also know looking at is West Ham for first of all, once a physical cash near appear or account ma a ball financial fair play.
Sure.
Change say Obabe and a swap. And moreover no Graham Potter say Amon Kudus now finding ways of it in your place baby. And again on no physical cash now or top player be amortize it.
Yeah.
But each and financially it helps than taking individual players, but and, still no.
And I've always said, sir, looking at how our football market it has gotten to that point. Once you need the player, It's a obianya player who feels that this is my key player. Wow, baby, you the boo not telling fast with you.
Say, be an man you also want to see.
Debut. I am talking about key players.
Okay.
Manchester, they see a key player between Antoine and Bruno Fernandes.
Not yes. But anyway, Vinicius Junior and Real Madrid contract, no. Vini put in hold kakra.
I quite hurting. So Real Madrid.
So for you mean no answer me. Madrid
I hurting. Because Vinicius Junior, to be honest, Madrid I be my brand, but a brand is also a penny due said Real Madrid Bobo. For the past 3 seasons, since a brand any back club anymore, he has never looked back. But for the past 3 seasons, he's been consistent with the performance. He played with the likes of Karim Benzema. Trophies are necessary. The last season, Benzema boy and Sana Ofi Real Madrid. On a top scorer, Vini na second top scorer. After he left, Jude Bellingham he became the top scorer for Real Madrid. Vini was the second top scorer again for Real Madrid. Last season, Kylian Mbappe came. He became the top scorer for Real Madrid. Vini was the second top scorer for Real Madrid. And he's been consistent with good performances for Real Madrid. Even last season now you're seeing a performance in him. He was the second top scorer. And per the numbers game, he has always been there for Real Madrid. He too was such a player. No making demands, sir. He feels to say there are other players in the squad. Semenyo man ya pe amebro omoso. Enti eyesika sei na mepe. Eye kasa mpanifo se kasa dem abato. The player knows say Madrid aye bebre amano. And I am sure say Madrid ni abrante na tenase. Na nkomo ni ko yie nko ade na wo say lower ne niema bi finances ne niema bi na otena Madrid a. Abrante na ready because if not for Madrid, why na nkebebo Vinicius Junior din say yemfa Ballon d'Or mfa mano. It is because of Real Madrid.
They can now open, no? As I say, or attach numbers in terms of finances. Just see, Nissan, Madrid, you know. Sikana, I born all body, but see, the auto A class, no so. And you're born on Kwana, yes, you have to give us numbers, mechanizing, and unfortunately, he's not doing that. Ocean and saying Mbappe by the kind of Jesus Mbappe, Eta. Now, Madrid, it makes a lot of sense. But Vini, Madrid does not see him in that way. How many times now watch TV Krana won't say supporters Madrid JC actually Vinicius Junior? How often do you see it?
Koku no credit when it comes to JC sales and there, Kylian Mbappe is there. And the difference between the two is Kylian Mbappe had made his name as a superstar before joining Real Madrid. But Vini Diano Obefa Dinu or Real Madrid Bobo Kunimo. And until an America say player in him at the Madrid Ayamano. It is a Madrid in the Casana Communico Yim Quadia. Why ready? So better than why they was kind. But then again, it comes back to a seminar. So Madrid is looking at certain things that Kylian Mbappe de moment now. And so therefore the player feels to say, I am Mbappe and I'm Muyemi say. That is how the player feels. And no walk or down it to him. And into the one also I change channel. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest. Real Madrid ain't here Vinicius Junior.
Very well.
And a Vinicius to here Real Madrid.
Very well.
Say Vinicius kwa. Madrid was the baby to me a player biaba. But then again, you are bringing in a new player. I feel no baby adapted to the Real Madrid system. What is even the guarantee? So bet me rise about do the level of Vinicius Junior. Because there have been players from about Real Madrid. Oman Timian Pejam do Vinicius Junior level.
Well. Yeah, Madrid, young Kobas and Kobonko Moka Kribim Rasisia, because good news about Barcelona. But before that, team of the week, Club World Cup Naba. Na Bonu, goalkeeper. James right back, left back Hakimi. Thiago Silva Koulibaly 4 and 5. Cole Palmer, Joao Neves, Ricardo Rios, and Gonzalo Garcia. Hurricane Seu Grass, who say, Place no beyond the motor fra Gonzalo Garcia, baby, you're Modinejina. Yeah, as Timu say, your preposition at the Amo be no more day. And the team of the week, you know, Ediaba. Now, big ye, and now call Barcelona, Cia, and Ocasea. All the major newspapers, our Barcelona, report story say, Javier Tabas, a informer Barcelona for say, 1:1, I can, afraid. Now, these are the reasons. Reason number 1. Barcelona closed the 2024-2025 financial year on June 30th with 950 million euro, 150 million euros revenue, surpassing the 893 million euros budgeted for. The Barcelona for budget say in Cafe Cambania revenue of 893 million, but we cried a matra in your 950. Abi, but from 950 minus 893. Afe, La Liga president Javier Tebas confirmed the club met necessary conditions to return the financial normalcy. The key factor was crowing. Me pamcho omunaye say new auditors are audit Barcelona account, accepting the 100 million as income from the sales of rights of 475 VIP seats at the Spotify Camp Nou for 30 years. Again, 30 years on say Barcelona aton 475 VIP seats. Na omunya engine to mu eche eno kra de enti na according to Barcelona almost say almost 1:1. La Liga for say you are not into 1:2 because La Liga for no mu engine to mu. According to this report, almost say Crowley for no auditors no. So auditors no kra be audit almost mu engine to. Because say let me take this 30 seconds. Let me explain this. Auditors no. So I get na nya writer omutimi stripping the licenses. Inti do wona wa fa no onti asema because one so company ehia ne ye pa. Inti omo kra na mo engine to mu. According to this report, again, there's reason why me sister say this report no. This is Barcelona's camp saying say Javier Tebas afro. Say Javier Tebas not to say. Obetimi ababo ntia be ka say masesa madwin. And terms according to them, and this is the statement they've released. Inti VIP tickets now 475. Ninyina no, ebema 100 million euros. Almost a crow if no accepted. This allowed Barcelona. Reason why I'm registered that new one. Now Barcelona insist. However, crow if no validating 100 million. You know, and they say Barcelona board if we been informed. Oma catch Limac na company na omoye company no. Says say. We speedy things up now for Barcelona for and to say big Uko Barcelona campus said when you see a chance some sign you according to the mom see be quite more daho
Siciano Nina Babisi Adia Bacoso Adia Baco Babisi soon say Basabitimi assign the register I am sure say that is why the supporters are happy because Barcelona supporter beyond Pi Bonin and Nigeria and say the team be stronger. Now at least and every kind of competition omo compete biano and also omo wo mu biano omo betimi win laurel scroll. I was our competition nemo say ye league, say ye Copa del Rey, say ye Champions League, whatever it is going to be, no more bejeje. So betimi anya sa na you need a strong team. Obehia team more ding, team is strong, and sana out media judges and crew one. And looking at the kind of quality Barca dine the last season, should they get Nico and so be cat team in one, a very difficult the opponent to be a Barcelona Bishia. Imagine say Obo Barcelona, na Nico Williams on the left flank, na Lami Yama on the right flank, na Rafinha, a boss an auxiliary striker, and answer number 10, na Robert Lewandowski, a junior Nimu or the Barcelona Bobo Kono. Defense be obubeshia be our problem. Omobetete, omobehaw. Eti adiana abane there. I think say this is the best news for every Barcelona supporter. Barca supporter be a news be one ma wate. I chance a news way. E kwama da finally Nico Williams ebetimi aba be Barcelona player and it is good news for every Barcelona fan kwaku.
They say good news no send you see kind and nyina ko wie Nico because good news way back now say when me and signing Nico for so be na say be when you
nka supporters in
say Inter Milan for so say Chahanoglu so be so ko Galatasaray so be fa Ederson Atalanta for player no make Atalanta no on say aka say inu no ko Kamaldin sisi or the penny paper so or no so I think it is done.
I'm hoping say
check what up.
Kamaldin be pick the kind of former. You name Kamaldin tena woman. Especially from any days. A year the Norwegian League and the French League. And the answer will be in the English Premier League. Kamaldeen has been that player, or a very good player, no doubt about it. And the talent there, and you're questionable. But the problem has been the goal scoring. Any injuries are a hano. We've seen Atalanta team now are transforming a lot of players. Among my stars. Ademola Lookman is a typical example. Our own African brother. Mathieu Retegi is another example. And the Oma Yesadiana, but coach Anon Yesadian Giampiero Gasparani is no more. And only me fear. Me need so much trust with coach Ivan Juric. But then again, it's a Niama Koye Diama Ivan Juric. He has trust in Kamaldeen Sulemana. On one Ekotono, yes, Adam Simbobo Kodim. And I will feel on joining Atlanta. And I will feel say, when who qualities are granted and possess into the neighbor Atlanta, a baby new coach in the project. When you have a coach or what trust, it really helps. Because onimbienti or the way they be Edward Dinachi and so they are called one player they be American me example James Rodriguez and Carlo Ancelotti no matter former James Rodriguez whom say yes saying Carlo Ancelotti make him move over fan the number or the neighbors will be transform player no I'm on the performance as I see a coach so certain coaches have that thing with certain players and I'm hoping and praying say yenya Kamaldeen Sulemana ebenya saadi ni bi with Ivan Juric or Atlanta na nema sesadi ama coach no and brand because when he becomes a better player, it is for the good of your black star.
There is this one question I want to ask you. Now, they are wrap it up. When Ruben Amorim came to Manchester United, he made us think, say, he needs time to imbibe his 3-back. Every season, United were still struggling after months.
Yeah.
Even now, we all can say, every season and 5. Maybe in the preseason, and never. Okay. Isn't it the same scenario with Real Madrid? Because it looks like Xabi Alonso did Yehu Kakra.
Yeah.
You see, and yet 3-back here now, one team is struggling to adapt, the other one M5, Madrid M5, but at least you see snippets of say the Achibi. If they play together for a while, it'll be much better. And yes, and it's a matter of coach, and it's a matter of the place, and it's a matter of the club and our tournaments.
Koku, I feel coaching a one and a 2 quality.
Okay,
these are the 2 things. I'm saying coaching because Ruben Amorim, the performance was Sporting Lisbon bad. He was a league winner before joining Manchester United. But Obia Waji League, one wrestle by Monica League in the Bundesliga. And Obia Waji League, one wrestle FC Porto in Benfica League free on some so will be Samia. Maybe the Waji League or Bundesliga anymore. Ahead of the OG League or Portuguese League anymore. So I'm going to pick Xabi Alonso as a better coach than Ruben Amorim. Look at the quality of players in the Real Madrid setup. Compare that to Manchester United. There is a gulf between the two when it comes to quality. Madrid and Manchester United. And I feel the Real Madrid players, they be a football net is a classroom. Watch that, IQ level no was roach yana canitirim. Obi no to here time and son what me apeke ade na watch no. I am sure that the Madrid players per their meme huno are quick to adapt than the Manchester United players. And the Madrid players and Goku Yantise players and they complaining about coaching the system and the tactics. But Manchester United, it was rumored. Say a lot of the players say, okay with the system a coach in the Bebono. And mentally, player Nankasa nin to say na me pesa me ye. Manchester United bobo konim. E yet then no was a sat no to me came a coach in epe. Because football e adwinimo dwuma a hanom na sha see free. Etunya that change e wa hanom a. And I bet me adapted to the system a coach in the deba. But the Manchester United players are not even ready to adapt. That is why time be as a make Ruben Amorim or Sema. I feel say yes season we say when on one kasa and signings, no matter the kind of players are, me feel so no feel so better media here tomorrow. That is why I'm going to properly assess the coach's performance.
Okay, that's fine.
But for now, I feel say the difference between the two, and you coach in one, and the golf in quality between Real Madrid and Manchester United.
Well answered. Thank you very much, my brother. Ebe sounds so eshebio na yer ho asomere bro. Of course, he said here ebe bon komoni bebre. Ya woni mpa bebre a chef fridge ma igusu a ye won parking kakran. Nti nya ho abotre. Nyakopon Shira, because we're coming back again very, very soon. Yeah, what for no? Be sound so Eddie Bro. Nyakopon Shira be. Bye bye.